my name is Jennifer Robison, and I am not a DevOps engineer. I am not here to talk to you about Kubernetes, as Peter and I like to joke about last night. I am a software engineer by trade, and I do a lot with mobile development, which has a lot of manual and complex processes. So I am all about automating and making our lives a little bit simpler. So I'm super excited to be here. This might not hit really well with this audience, but maybe you'll learn something from what I have to share in my experience. So I'm going to share about cross-platform mobile applications and how that can help make your life a little bit easier. So first, a little bit about me and why I care so much about this topic. This is my husband. We've been married for almost 20 years. We like to have a lot of adventures. This last weekend, we were on our motorcycle, tooling around Southern Oregon. We have 3 beautiful children, the oldest of which is just now starting her engineering career with the Air Force. We love to go on adventures, like I said, and that means you need to have good work-life balance and trusting in the processes and the people that you work with to carry on the important tasks when you're not there. When I go on vacation or when I go to events like this as a conference, I like to shut down my computer down, power it down, and not think about any of the work that I left behind until I get back. I don't want to get a frantic call from my boss or a client or my coworkers saying like, I need you right now, I can't release this mobile app, like we had a bug and we need to get this out. So that's what I'm here to share with you today. So when I talk about cross-platform mobile delivery, I'm going to share my experiences specific to React Native. React Native is a JavaScript framework that allows us to have both iOS and Android feature parity that we can release to both the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store with one code base. There are a lot of tools out there available, a lot of different platforms that help support this. I've had experiences with many of these through my years. I've been doing mobile development for about 5 years at this point. Behind a lot of that, I was thinking earlier in the talk that Kat gave about the history of a lot of the DevOps, and there are so many layers of abstraction. So a lot of these tools, honestly, Fastlane is a hub of that for mobile development. They bring together a lot of those features. So a lot of these things actually cover Fastlane itself. As I said, I've been doing mobile development for about 5 years, and when I started doing that, it was like a heap of spaghetti noodles. I know we talk about spaghetti code, and none of us like that, so I really like to have clean and clear process, just like I like to have clean code. And this has been a process over the years in my experience. So like this famous quote says, you really need to start where you are with the tools that you have at your disposal and do what you can. Take baby steps. We can't expect to make all of our changes at once or overnight, but with the knowledge of some of these tools that are available to us, you can really make your life a little less chaotic. So the real meat of what I have to share with you today is what we've come to over years of iterating on our process. It used to be that Expo and the tool that I'm sharing was really a dirty word in the React Native development world, but they've come a long ways in the last couple of years. So they've got a lot of tooling for us that are for helping us build our applications and then submitting to the stores. And they really help us do that a little bit faster. But even with that, there's still things that are difficult and challenging for developers that aren't in this space regularly. So on top of Expo Application Services, or better known as EAS, we add in some custom GitHub Actions that my company has put together. This is open source, you can check it out. We have a public repo. Hit me up if you want to see more. That link is probably difficult to read. But that's really at the core of what I'm going to share, and that all of this is built upon. We've got 3 custom actions at this point that you can plug into a Git workflow, and it really just flows. So the first action is called tagging. This is where we're able to maintain our version management. So think about when you download an app on your phone and it has, some semantic versioning. You have to be able to manage that, and as you're doing continued feature development, you need to know, do I need to do a hot fix? Am I patching this version, or am I actually releasing the next version? So this allows us to automate that within our repository. We don't have to have every engineer knowing, what was the last version we released? If I'm doing a hot fix, how do I bump it? What's the next version? So this will all be managed through our workflow. You can see that we fetch the most recent version based on the branch that we're going to build from. We look at the package JSON file, and then we can update the native files for both Android and iOS, put those in GitHub, and the engineers no longer have to worry about that. So after we tag that build and create our new version, we actually get into the EAS services. There's a custom action that we built on top of the Expo CLI so that you don't have to know all of the nuts and bolts around that. And I'll show you a little bit more in an example in a minute. The third action that we have is really in secret management. So this is optional, and that's just because it's something that we tend to use, but it's not something that everybody uses. So it's become a convenience for us. We're offering it to other people that want to check it out. So this one allows us to pull our environment variables that are specific for builds, whether it's alpha, beta, production. Engineers don't have to know those values, tokens, etc. So this is really the bare bones of the workflow. This one, it starts as manually dispatch. I'm sure this is really hard to read, but it's a YAML file. It just basically is saying, you can manually kick this off on whatever branch you want. You can select what type of release you want to do. Is it a major bump, a minor bump, or patch, which helps with that tagging and the versioning. And then what branch do you want to build from? So if you're doing a hotfix, you're going to want to work off a tagged version that you've already done so it can bump accordingly. So after we gather those inputs, we then check out the branch that's actually going to be built. We do the version bumping that's going to happen. We pull any secrets that are needed. And then we do the actual build and the submission to the stores. So some important things to know about this is that you still have a little bit of setup, right? With every layer of abstraction, there's still a little bit of configuration that's needed. You still have to connect to the App Store in that initial setup, get some identifiers, tokens, etc. And then there's some steps that you have to do in the CLI to sync credentials, key stores, some of those pieces that are needed to actually know for Apple and for Google to be able to submit. And for one wonky, Google does not allow you to submit to their store or upload without manually uploading a compiled binary file the first time, which is wild to me. Sorry. So we didn't come to this overnight. It took a lot of baby steps. I hope you found some useful nuggets. And if you want to connect, you can find me on Linktree. Yeah, I was there. Sorry. I was trying not to talk too fast.